I mean, every one of us has had those moments where we're like putting kids in breakout rooms. Yes, work as a group. And then you pop in the breakout room and all the kids are like, you gonna talk? No, you talk first. No, you talk first. Super annoying, right? Hey teacher friends, welcome to Sutton Teaches Secondary. I'm Miss Sutton, but you can call me MarQuitta. Here we talk about teaching strategies for those high need schools, we talk about planning for ELA classrooms, and we talk about teacher life because we are going to thrive. We are not just going to survive our life as teachers. So you want to foster collaboration in your classroom and you're like, oh man, I got to pay for all of these different things and these different online apps and things. No, you don't. You have plenty of things in your arsenal that are free. You heard me, free, that you can use to creatively foster some collaboration in your classroom. So let's get into it. Since we have been in this world of distance learning, I have 3 tools in my arsenal that I have been using constantly that are great ways to foster collaboration, and they have just been helpful. I mean, every one of us has had those moments where we're like putting kids in breakout rooms. Yes, work as a group. And then you pop in the breakout room and all the kids are like, you gonna talk? No, you talk first. No, you talk first. So I have some things that are free for you to use that will totally help to alleviate those problems. Here's my number one. Number one way to foster collaboration is the questions feature on Google Classroom. So if you are creating an assignment on Google Classroom, you can create a question. And the cool thing about the question is you can assign it to everyone. And there is a button that you can click that allows students to respond to each other. Why is this cool? Because they have their question, they're responding to their question, and then you can assign them to respond to each other's questions. Now, the reason why I love this is 1, of course, the collaboration piece, but 2, those answers from students serve as a model for other students, right? So if you have that student who is not doing so great, they're low, whether it's low because of their effort or low just because of their ability, when they see other students writing, it's their chance to see models of what the response you are looking for looks like. So one of the things I always do is also make sure to click that button that says students can edit their answer, because I've noticed in the past that some students do see like, oh man, this is what a great response looks like, and they use that as a way to then model their response and improve their response. So allow students to collaborate, assign them to have to collaborate with each other and respond to one another's questions, but then also make sure to click that button where students can edit their own answers, so that way they get a little positive peer pressure to make their answer better. Ooh, I love it. Now, the second tool that I love for collaboration is Google Slides. And you're like, okay, Google Slides, boom, got that. Google Slides with the edit feature on. So when you assign this on your Google Classroom and you attach this Google Slides, make a Google Slides that is one long presentation and all the students can edit. So they all plop on and they all edit together. Now, you gotta listen and hear so that it doesn't become a big old chaotic cluster. Here are some tips I have for you to make it work. 1, treat the slides as if they were creating posters together. So many of us in our classrooms would have some kind of poster where students are working together to create a poster to represent whatever learning they need to learn or whatever the case, right? Same idea. So I make sure to have in my slides, the first few slides, 1, I have the title of the slide because I organize the slides by each classroom, or each class rather, each period. 2, I make sure to have the instructions for what I want them to complete on their slide, and they know that. And then 3, I have a sample of what the slide should look like, a model of what it should look like. If it's a class that's higher, so like my AP class, I don't have a model just because, they're AP. I want to push them, and I also like to let them let their creative juices fly. Sometimes that third slide though might clarify some terms or clarify some ideas of like what I'm looking for specifically in their slide. Now, here are some other tips to help when you are organizing this where students can edit. You want to make sure you have way more than enough slides of what you want students to create already prepared. So if they're using something like a template or a form that they're filling out, make sure if you're going to have 8 groups, have 10 slides or 12 slides. It just helps to have extra slides. 2, make sure when you're making your breakout room groups, you tell one leader in each breakout room group their corresponding slide. You don't want this to be a free-for-all. You want to make sure each group knows specifically which slide to go to before they go to it. Now, something else I like to do, sometimes for classes, I might even switch up what the question or the assignment that they're doing is per slide. That's really cool because then you can level things, or sometimes when I'm building background for a novel, I'll give them different elements to build the background. So for example, if we were building background for Gatsby, someone might be doing Prohibition while someone else might be doing Flappers, right? Like each group might be doing something different. Now, I also make sure students put their names in the speaker notes. And this is always in my instructions on that first introductory slide. I tell them to put their name in the speaker notes. So that way I know who was in each group, who did what for slides. I also remind them, do not put someone's name in the speaker notes if they did not do work, right? So that way I know who's doing work. Now, besides the fact that this is just a great tool for collaboration, it's fun, it's good for them, I also love this because it is a great way to monitor work while we are on these online distance learning platforms. I don't have to just pop into breakout rooms all willy-nilly just to check in, hey, how's it going? And then hope that they give me some good feedback or ask them to share their screen and then go through that whole process. I'm looking at them doing the work real time because we're all on one document. We're all editing this one document. And I can see, okay, it's been about 10 minutes in this one group, or it's been 5 minutes and this one group has not done any work, or they're really stuck. And then I can target which groups I'm going into to help them. I can also write notes to certain groups if they're kind of veering off or they need to clarify some things and help them to fix it that way. I love it. Now, some ways that I've been able to also use the Google Slides with All Edit as a sort of gallery walk is after we've all finished, we use the last part of class and I have students go through and look through each slide, and I might have them write some kind of notes in the speaker notes about slides, or I might even create a few slides at the end of the whole presentation where students answer an overarching question that relates to whatever the work that we were doing while we did those slides. I love this tool, y'all. I love it because it's free, it's not anything new, but it gets students moving, like they get excited about it. It's a great way to just have students work together, and it's a great monitoring tool for work in classrooms. If you're not already doing this, you're gonna start and you're gonna love it. I guarantee it. And the last tool that I love that you already have in your arsenal is Jamboard. If you are not on the Jamboard bandwagon, where have you been? What have you been doing? Jamboard is awesome. So Jamboard is a great tool. It almost looks like Google Slides, but it's not quite Google Slides. It's just like a poster board where people can post sticky notes to things and whatever the case. And there's lots of online apps that do very similar things. I just like this one because it's free and it already comes with the Google Suite. So every student has it. I don't have to worry about there being issues with logins and things like that. It's easy to upload and use. Now, the way I love to use Jamboard most is asking either an open-ended question or asking a question about a piece of the text and allowing students to add their answers using the sticky note feature. The way I usually create my Jamboard slides is I use my PowerPoint presentation or my Google Slides presentation. I turn that into a picture. So I downloaded that one slide as a picture, and then I add it to my Jamboard slide. So we've looked at the question, when I'm teaching and I'm showing my Google Slides. Then when we transfer to the Jamboard, it's the same slide basically, it's just a little smaller, and now there's room for students to add their sticky notes. And as students add their sticky notes, I then like to elevate the responses that are really good. And then I ask students to elaborate on those answers. So if I read your sticky note and I'll say, who wrote that? Oh my goodness, that's so great. And then I'll have students and I'll tell me what you mean more about that. Explain what you meant, or elevate that. Explain more about X, Y, and Z, right? Like you can elevate and begin to make this more of a conversation. Really great collaboration piece. Another way you can use Jamboard, if you have multiple sticky notes or ideas already posted, you can put students into groups and assign them to do some kind of sorting or organizing of terms or ideas. You can have students respond to a question using a picture. You can have them respond with sticky notes, but then only certain specific things on the sticky notes. So hashtag, whatever. It can be an exit ticket. So in our physical classroom, sticky note exit tickets were my favorite. I would have students either create a hashtag or write a sentence or some kind of way to close out whatever we have been learning for the day. And then I would have them stick their sticky note on the door on the way out. Ooh, that's a great tip when you get back, if you don't already do that. And then it served as like a visual for me. I'm looking at all of these answers, and then I can start to gather some data very quickly on how students are doing. Same thing on the Jamboard. I've got all these like quick responses, and I can gather very quickly from that exit ticket. Are we getting it? Or what else do I need to work on and teach more of? If you have a format or a specific way you want students to answer for their exit ticket, or answer a question or fill out some kind of form, all you have to do is create your format on a Google slide, download it as a picture, and then add that picture to the Jamboard and expand it or do whatever you need to do so it can adjust. So for example, I've seen teachers do like the 3, 2, 1 exit ticket. And so they'll create the 3, 2, 1 slide, 3, 2, 1, and have the open space for students to respond. Download that as a picture. And then now you can add your 3 sticky notes, your 2 sticky notes, and your 1 sticky note. Ooh, I love it. It's so great. So like I said, if you are not on the Jamboard bandwagon, where have you been? It's a fun tool. It's a free tool, and it's a great way to have collaboration. So I hope this video was helpful for you. My 3 easy, fun, free ways to foster collaboration in your classroom. If you enjoyed this video, or if you found it at all helpful, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe so we can be teacher friends, y'all. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.